So it says here that you can't use an ATV or firearms while you're in the cemetery, which really ruins my plans for the day.
So if we want to get to hers, be just up this rock. Okay. Yeah, right.
You know what I was thinking about? Is that so often I want to be Nick Drake, the British folk musician, or Mark Lanigan, any of those people. The more that I realize it, the reality is it's a waste of being myself. That's some inspirational graveyard quotes right there. So yeah, we're in the Sibley plot. Sibley family, of course, was Hiram Sibley, the early American industrialist. I'm fairly certain that this is the same cast zinc alloy headstone as the one that we saw at White Place. I could be totally wrong on that, but I think it might actually be cast zinc alloy.
This is a beautiful place to walk, though.
Yeah. That's a great old time name. Jarvis Griswold.
Jarvis Griswold?
Griswold, yeah. Yeah, that's what my new job is.
Yeah.
Helping people find things in a cemetery.
How does it feel to be next to so many people who've passed on?
I'm used to it. I do it all the time. You know, I work primarily in a morgue, so I see death through every single facet, every single lens. I'm used to it.
Desensitized?
I guess I'm probably desensitized to it. You know, I'm usually there first thing when the person dies, whether it's at the home or the hospital. I'm usually there just moments after they're pronounced dead, and I transport them to the morgue, and then I'm with the family and involved in the burial process. I see the whole thing from beginning to end.
Have you always been used to it?
No, but you get used to it after a while. First couple times it's a little strange, but sooner or later it just becomes second nature. You don't even really think about it. There are sometimes certain cases that stick out to me that will bother you occasionally. Children or people who have died rather horrific deaths. Sometimes going to the county coroner's office can be a little tough, but you know, by and large, somebody has to do it. One of the things I think is interesting is somebody who works in the mortuary field, for lack of a better term. I always just find certain graves fascinating, and not only that, but especially older graves, older era. So this one's pretty interesting. It says, "Here lies the ashes of Esther Steele, who suddenly departed this life." It almost looks hand carved. I don't know if it is, but it certainly looks that way. Just the types of headstones are really, really fascinating. Especially like the script on it. John Mason Steele, who was born, lived, and died in Pittsburgh, New York.
So Zach, have you had a lot of people close to you pass on recently, or?
I mean, I've lost grandparents, cousins, but I haven't done any of their funerals. My great aunt recently passed away, and we actually, the funeral home I work at, we did do her service, but I was not involved in that. I wouldn't be involved in anything like that just for my own sake, but you do see, especially when you work for a religious funeral home, you're going to run into people you know, especially when it's a smaller community. It's kind of inevitable, but you just have to approach it like you would every other case.
So it'd be weird to think about, but you don't have time to think about it. You just go on. And...
Right. You know, you just have to do the best you can for that person. They're not around anymore, but you still have to do everything you can. Edward Germain, 54th New York, died June 15th, 1916. He was a Civil War veteran.
Never smelled death.
It's a strange smell, but it also depends on the type of death that you're talking about.
True.
You want to know something kind of strange? I don't really have a sense of smell anymore. I've just largely blocked out my olfactory senses, or whatever they call it. Yeah, I used to go a lot of times to the county coroner's office. They have like an industrial-sized cooler with like 20, 30, sometimes more bodies. That smells pretty gross.
I could imagine.
This is interesting right here. George Washington Doler, who was a major in the 6th New York Cavalry, was a Civil War veteran. Look at that. It's like a family plot or everything. I mean, these are all family plots, really, but it's kind of interesting.
Did you ever do this?
Would I have a family plot?
Yeah.
Yes. I'm actually buying some plots right around the corner from here at Britton Road Cemetery, so I can be buried with my ancestors, my spouse, my family.
Now you live in Ohio,
Yeah.
but you want to be buried with...
My great-grandparents, my father, my grandparents.
It's just something that's everlasting. You want to...
Yeah, I just would like to... I don't know if it really matters any, but...
Probably not.
But it just would be nice.
It's the meaning, right?
Yeah, it's the meaning. It's kind of interesting. You see, like, all these forgotten graves, and it's such a well-known cemetery, too. There's something about that kind of... I guess unique, you know? I guess I'm okay with being forgotten. I think for me it's more, as cliche and stupid as it sounds, that I kind of hope that at least the art is not forgotten.